Hi there, welcome to Simple or Difficult. My name is Chukwudonochie, and together we are going to learn how to create this wonderful exterior image right here. All right, we are going to go through the processes required to create such images step by step. And this video is for beginners. So if you have not done any serious work using 3ds Max, as long as you can get around inside the software, you are good to go. All right. So in this video, we're going to talk about the compositions. We're going to be looking at camera placement and setup composition. We're also going to be putting lights, working with lights in this image. We're going to be adding environment lights. We're going to be adding Corona sun. I'm going to be sharing a lot of tips and tricks, how you can get your images to look really professional. I will share tips about the sun, how you can get different type of lighting setups with the sun. And also after that, we are going to be adding, different assets like the trees and the cars in the scene. And I will show you where you can get all those, the premium assets, where you can get them. I'll be sharing the links in the description below. And also we're going to be working with material. I'll be sharing with you how you can create your own material. And I'll be showing you how you can edit, the material presets that you can find in the Corona material library. All right. We're going to be using some of the materials there. We're going to be editing some of them. And then we're also going to be creating our own from the scratch. Then I'll be showing you Forest Park, how you can use it to put realistic grass, how you can use it to put trees, very realistic trees, and also how you can use it to put hedges. Okay, and then in between these tutorials, I'll be sharing important tips and tricks, and also we'll be doing tone mappings, after which we're going to take the image to Photoshop, where we're going to do a little bit of post-production. You get post-production to get the image to look the best it can possibly look. So if these things are things you are, you care about, things you want to see, things you want to learn, all right, stay put, don't go anywhere. I'll see you when I get back. All right, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to go over to customize, go to our unit setup and confirm that everything is in millimeters. Okay, this is what we normally do in case you are watching this for the first time, because the model we're going to import now, okay, I modeled it in millimeters in Revit. So it is always good to synchronize this thing so that you don't have any problem. I've already explained the reason why we do this. I'm going to attach the video where I explained it, up here. Just, look around the screen, you're going to see it. So the next thing we're going to do, okay, I like to work with two screens. In case you can't find this over here, you can come over here. This arrow that is pointing up, right click there, and then go over to layout. You can still see the same thing over there. Okay, it's the same thing. You can select it. So let's select the two. Let's get rid of the grids by hitting G on the keyboard. They are gone. Now let's go ahead and import our file. Okay. Okay. Just say okay. Keep saying okay. And that's the file. Select this and delete it. Select this camera and delete it. So the next thing we're going to do is just to go over to the render setups and change our renderer to Corona. All right. So now let's go ahead and put our camera. Okay. We're just going to put it like this. Just, rough setup. And then let's add our save frame. And then we're going to go over here. We're going to change it to, let's use HDTV. Just set it to HDTV. I'm going to go ahead and set this to clay mode. And then add some edges, for it to be visible very well. Time for us to set up the camera a little bit before adding the asset like the trees that we're going to use here. So I'm going to select the camera. I'm going to let me select it from here, from the middle. Yeah. So I'm going to raise it up to is for exterior. Exterior is quite different from interior. So for exterior, I like to keep the camera between 1.2 and 1.7. All right. So let's just leave it at 1.3 for now. And then we're going to come in here, select the camera, and then go over to modify. Change it from field of view to focal length. All right. So this we're going to for starters, let's leave it at 30. All right. Now you can see we need to move forward. Okay. So I'm just going to select this zoom over here. I come over here, it changed to dolly camera. Then you just, go in into the view a little bit like so. For now, let's just leave it. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring in the trees. We're going to leave it like this for now. We might work on it later. Okay. When we start working on the lights and adding light and doing interactive render, we're going to appreciate the frame a little bit better. But for now, let's just leave it. Okay. Let's go ahead and add the trees. Okay. So select the camera. I already have, the trees I want to use. I already, set them aside in it. If this is a different 3ds Max file. But in case you're wondering where you can get nice trees, you can get nice trees from 3D Sky. Okay, they have very awesome trees there. You can check out their libraries. You can see the ones, that you can download that is well suited for this project that we're working on. Another place you can get really nice tree is Evermotion. All right. You head over to their website. I'm going to put all the links to this website I'm mentioning now in the description. Just head over to the website and then you now check out their libraries and see the one we're going to, that is going to be very, very nice for what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to just use copy it all. I'm going to copy it. Let me just copy the first one. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, it has copied. So now I'm going to go over here and then merge it with the scene. Open copy to one, that same thing. Use it. Then merge it. Now we're going to use these trees that I just imported. This is the composition part of the render that we're working on now. So we're going to use this tree that we just imported, and we're going to frame this image in a way that is going to look really nice. All right, so this really big one, I'm just going to take it and then I'm going to bring it over here. Okay. Like so. I think it's quite big. If it doesn't work there, we're going to, change it with the other one. But it's going to work. So I want the trunk to be showing just a little bit. Okay. Let's check the other one. I think the other one is going to be better. This one over here. I think it's going to be better. Let's see. Perfect. This is perfect. Because we don't want it to cover the entire building. We just want it to frame this image. Okay, so now let's bring out our image comp helper. Okay, when you right click on this, it's going to flip the, can you see what it's doing to our golden spiral? We're going to use golden spiral for this image. So right clicking flips it like this, while left clicking on it turns it off and on, as you can see. So let's keep it like this. And we're going to use the rule of thirds as well to help us align the image on the horizon and everything. So now I'm going to select the camera target and I'm going to raise it up a little bit. Okay, so I can balance the image in the middle. Okay, now as I raise the camera up, you see that the image is now being skewed. So to be able to correct this, I'll just select the camera and I'll head over to the modify and I will come over here, the tilt and shift. I'll turn on the automatic vertical tilt. All right, so that one has been solved. All right, so I want to balance this edge of this image to this line over here. Okay, so now I have to go to work with my camera. So I'll just come over here, select let me select the target. Yeah, now we have something like that. So let's zoom in a little bit and then still, okay. want the image to be like this, and then select the camera like that. And then move. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm gonna select the camera again to make sure, okay, it's there around that 1 tray. It can be there. It doesn't really matter, but let's just put it at 1 tray. We said 1 tray. Let's just leave it at 1 tray. So as you can see, the building is framed in the middle of this image. So now we have foreground, and then we are having, the middle ground, which is the image, the object of this thing of interest, and then we are going to have the background. Right now, you can see that this our tree is no longer serving the purpose, where it is. So we need to now move it back a little bit, and then rotate it a bit to get a good part of it. Might even have to scale it up a little bit, okay, because we need it to cover more. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So let's turn off this save frame that is the image comp helper that activated it. So we can just hit Shift F over there to deactivate it, so we can be seeing what we're doing clearly over there. So let's frame this other part of the image as well. Okay, don't worry. The tree is entering the main road. I'm aware of that. Don't worry about what you are seeing in frame. All right, so let's just position it in such a way that it's gonna look really nice. Yeah, let's just leave it for now. And then let's use the little trees. Okay, the smaller trees that we have, use it to populate the can rotate it to get a better part. Okay, like I always say, 3D is an art. It is an art. So yeah, let's leave that one. There's another one in there. Okay, we're replacing and copying these three to these are green beds, as we're going to see when we start applying materials. Okay, they are the green beds. So there should be 3 sprouting from those places. And now we can now start copying, because the different trees that we have, I think I've exhausted them. I've exhausted them, not that I think. I know I've exhausted them. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. You rotate it for a little bit to create a little bit of variation in the trees. Okay. So yeah. Of course. All right. So now we are done with the camera placement and composition. So the next thing we're going to work on is the light. So for us to begin working on our light, I'm going to go over to the render setups, and I'm going to go to the scene. This is the scene tab, and I'm going to turn on the material override. Okay, and then I'm going to click on none, like so. And under Corona, you see materials, you see general, you see scanline. Under Corona, select the Corona Legacy. You can select Corona Physical if that is what you like, but I like to use Corona Legacy. I'm already used to Corona Legacy, so I will select Corona Legacy. Okay, you can leave it like this and you start your work. Okay, but there are other few things I want us to do. In performance, I need you to turn off this fast preview, the noise during render. Okay, if you have watched the video where I explained the different denoisers we have in 3ds Max Corona, okay, in Corona Renderer, you realize that this fast preview is like a denoiser that, this NVIDIA GPU AI fast preview, okay? It tries to like quickly denoise the image when you're doing interactive render. We don't need that, okay? I suggest you turn it off because it takes quite a lot from your system, okay? And also, I don't like the way it comes out. It smudges things around. But if you like, you can leave it on and see what I'm talking about. So in system, I need you to turn off the clear VFB between renders. Okay, this clears your frame buffer. This is frame buffer. This is over here. Let me open it. This is the frame buffer. Okay, this clears your frame buffer when you want to do a render or interactive render. Like if you want to reload something, instead of you to like update what is already there, it is going to clear it. And we don't want that. We want to be able to update what you already have. Okay, that is less task on your system. Okay, but you have a beast. If you have a beast, you can always clear it if you want. But I like to turn it off. All right. All right, so now that we have finished setting these things up, there's one more thing I wanted to set. All right, so we can leave this overriding material like so. Okay, it can just be like that, or we can work on it a little bit to make it a little bit nice. So I'm going to open my material editor. You can hit the M on your keyboard to open it as well. I use the Slate material editor. You can use Compact. It all works the same. All you need to do is drag and drop. Select, make sure it's an instance, okay? That way, any change you make here is going to affect this one that is already inside here. So I'm going to close this now. So I'm going to just double click on this and then make this the reflection. I'm going to make it 1. I'm going to reduce this one to 0.6. Every material has reflection. Okay, so I'm going to select this. I'm going to make it a little bit darker, okay, like so. And then I'm going to reduce the reflection a little bit. Yeah. So now we're going to start our interactive render. Okay. So let's start. All right. You're not seeing anything because we have not added, the interactive render has started, but we are not seeing anything because there's no single light on this scene. All right. Now let's go and add the light. The first light we're going to add the environment light. So to bring out the dialog box where you're going to add the environment light, hit the 8 key on your keyboard, okay? Or if you like to go through the long process, you can go through rendering, see environment, click on it, that same dialog box comes out, okay? Or you can just come here, go over to the scene, you will see the scene environment, all right? You can still do the same thing from here. You can set it to a single map and then add any map you want over there. But let's leave it at the 3ds Max settings. That's the environment tab. So we can just use, since we're working with only one environment light, which is the day. We're going to just do this scene in this tutorial. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do the nice scene of this same tutorial. Okay. So I'm going to select the Corona sky. All right. See under maps, Corona, select the Corona sky, hit OK. That's all. Close it. Now let's do that interactive render again and see what happens. Okay. We can see what is going on. But now we're on this viewport. Click on this viewport for it to take you over there. All right. But in as much as we're on this viewport, if I click here, it's going to take me back there. So we need to lock this frame buffer to this viewport. All right. So that no matter what we are doing, no matter which part of the viewport we are clicking on, it's still going to render what is on this place. Okay. And to do that, come over to the render setup. And then click this lock here. Click on it. Now, no matter where you click, it's still going to be rendering what is here. All right, I'm aware that this is overexposed. All right. So what we can do about this is we can just come over here in the top mapping tab and then drag this thing down. Okay, for starters, it's already looking good. Okay. So we have only added one light now, which is the environment light. You got it. Environment light. So now let's add the corona sun. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this for a while. You know what? Let's just leave it on. I want to show you something. Okay, let it be, you know. So to add the sun, let me make this a little bit smaller. So we can have a lot more real estate to work on here. And then, yeah, something like this. To add a sun, come over here, click on this plus button. Okay, this is the create button. You will see lights, the bulb icon. Then you are not going to see corona anywhere here. So just click on the photometric, you see corona, click on it. Now you see corona light and you're going to see the corona sun. Corona sun is what we want to add. So select it and then let's add it this way. Okay? I want you to notice something. As soon as I drew that corona sun, you see what happened to this scene? It made the scene dim. That is because the corona sun is lying down on the ground. When it's high above like this, you see it is now very bright. So now the position of the corona sun affects the mood and the lighting of your scene. Okay, let me explain again. Let me leave it. So I'm going to use the move tool now to illustrate what I just did. So you see the way it is high pointing towards the ground. This is the sun. This is the target pointing towards the ground. You see how bright this scene is, looking like a midday sun hitting, you know, on this view like this. But when I now take it down, you can see it's darkness. It's night. It's like night scene. If I take it up a little bit, it's like twilight. You can see? You can see it's beginning to come up. Like, now if you want to do like evening view or dawn or twilight, whatever, you can use the sun to achieve. The positioning of the sun can give you whatever vibe you are looking for. All right. So I want a midday sun. So I'm going to raise it up, you know, so that we're going to get that type of midday sun. All right. So yeah, something like this is not bad. So that's it for corona sun. There's something else I want us to talk about in corona sun. You can see, when you zoom in, you see that the edges of this shadow is sharp. Okay. We can always adjust that. Okay. In the corona sun, we can make it a more softer shadow. We can make it a more sharper shadow, depending on what we want to achieve. All right. So to be able to make it, you know, softer, with the corona sun selected, you can see it's selected here. I will go over to the modify tab. Okay, if you want to make the shadow softer, you increase the size of the sun. If I make this sun 12 now, because I want you to really, you can see the way the shadow is now. It's now very soft. It's like a blur. Okay, so but I'm not going to make it 12. That's too much. I'm going to like leave it at 5. Let's see how 5 is going to be. Okay, that was not bad actually. You can see it's not bad at all. Let me make it 4. Now, you can see the intensity over here. Intensity, as the name suggests, adjusts the intensity of the sun. As you can see the intensity has been adjusted. So I'm just going to, you know, like leave it at 1. We're going to adjust it later. Now, we have 2 lights here. We have the environment light and we have the corona sun. That's good. So for us to move forward now, I want us to do what is called light mix. I want us to go ahead and add light mix so that we can be able to tweak the lights, you know, more easily. We don't have to go over to where the sun is and select it, or have to drag the environment map into the material editor and then start editing it. With this light mix, we can be able to do some changes, and we can also be able to bake in those changes that we have made into the elements like the corona sun and the environment map. Okay, let me stop talking. Let's just go ahead and do it. So I'm going to open the render setups. Okay, let me stop the interactive render for now. Okay. So I'm going to go over to the scene. If you're not there, come over to the scene. All right. For us to set up this light mix, there's a very simple way to do it. Just click on Setup Light Mix. Make sure it's on the instance light and then hit Generate. Then when you come over to render elements, you're going to see these 2 things. You're going to see the environment map. This is the Corona Sky that we just added. So let me just name it Corona Sky. Okay. Then this is Corona Sun. It's already named Corona Sun 01. Let's just remove the 01. There's no other sun here. So Corona Sun. This rest now that you're seeing here is going to remain there. You cannot remove it. But then you can see in brackets showing you unassigned. What happens is when you put a light in this scene and you don't assign it to any of this group or maybe create a new one, okay, what is going to happen is that light that you did not assign to any of the either Corona Sun or Corona Sky, or maybe create a new one to add a light inside it, is going to enter this unassigned folder. That is the rest folder. Okay, so that is what it's doing here. You can't even remove it, but this you can always delete this. You get. So now let's leave it and then go ahead and start our interactive render. As you can see, nothing happened here. It's still the same thing that we had before, that we're still seeing again. So where do we go to see the difference of what we just did? You can see light mist over here. Click on it. You're going to see the Corona Sky. You're going to see the Corona Sun. If I turn off the Corona Sun from here, you see the Corona Sun is off. I didn't have to go over and select the sun where it is and then start turning things off. Okay, all I had to do is just turn it off here. If I want to reduce the brightness, I can do it from here now. That is the power of the light mix. Okay, let me make it 1. And for the Corona Sky, the same thing. You can see the Corona Sky is off. Now, when there are things assigned to the rest, it is also going to function, you know, the way it is supposed to function as well. All right. So now, let's make some adjustment to the sun and then bake. I want to show you how you can bake the adjustment you make here into your actual, into your actual scene. All right. So I've made this change to the sun. This is 0.7. This is 0.6. I want you to come over here and check. Let's look at the sun and see what the sun is. The intensity is 1. Okay. Let's start the interactive render again. You see the adjustments I've made here. And then I hit scene. And I hit OK. All right. So now when you come over here and select the sun again, you will see that the sun is 0.704. Now it's 1 over here. All right. So that's how you bake the adjustments you made on your light mix into your scene. All right. So for now, I can say that we are almost done with the lighting. But now there are some few things we need to do on this scene. In this top mapping, we need to balance some things. All right, so I'm going to turn on the bloom. All right. Okay. So that you can see the bloom, the effect of the bloom. It adds this kind of bloom. Let's just call it bloom. Let's try and increase it a little bit and see what happens. Not much difference. All right, so let's sharpen the image a little bit. Let's make it like 3. 3 is okay. Just leave it at 3. Let's make this 0.5. Let's add our Reinhardt. Make it 2. 0.3. LUT. Turn it on. Make it like 0.5. Well, as time goes on, when I start working on materials, I'll know whether or not I am going to use just the Reinhardt. You know what? Let me leave it for now. Okay? With time, you just use your eye and you just check what is the best. But this makes things a lot darker than they're supposed to be. I mean, can you see? Let's just turn it off. Let's just, okay? Please, we're going to use the contrast to bring the contrast into the image. All right. Let's take it back to 15. Okay, it's still the same thing. Almost the same thing anyway. All right, so let's set the white balance a little bit. Let's bring in the filmic shadow. It's a filming mapping, but it has the shadow in there. Let's make it like 0.8. Okay, that's looking like nice a little bit. So yeah, that's it for the lighting part of it. Now on the next part, we are going to like add more, populate this scene more. We're going to add grass. We're going to add materials. Okay, we're going to add materials and we're going to add the grass using the Forest Park plugin. All right, so let's stop this for now and then minimize this. So the first thing we need to do when we're talking about applying material, okay, having worked on the composition and we have worked on the lighting, the first thing we need to do is come over here and deactivate the material override. Okay, and when you do that and you come back over here, let's just do interactive render and see what we're going to have. What we're going to have is chaos. Okay, like I told you before, this model, I did this model, all of them, like the building and the road and everything. I modeled it in Revit. Even this street light is from Revit. All right, so now we need to convert this scene in such a way that things that are not Corona material is going to be Corona material, and I'm going to show you how to do just that. All right, so you come over here, you see this icon here, that's Corona converter. So you open it, don't touch anything. Just come down here, click on this, drop it down, force non-metal, and then hit convert, and let it go to work for you. Yeah, it's done already. So you close it back. Let's see what we are going to have now. Now, at least they are all Corona materials now. But now the problem is the Corona material is misbehaving. As you can see, everything is just shining white all over the place. Now we need to now select this material and then we need to apply the material we want them to be. All right, so let me just stop this now. This is going to be a road material. So let me put this in clay mode. Okay. Display clay, yeah. So press F4 to add edge. So the road material, let me just not, for starters, I'm just going to use Corona default material to apply a road material to it. Then later we are going to adjust it to the one we want. So you go over to road, road. Let's just use this one. Anyone really, it doesn't really matter. Then for this building, let's start interactive render again and see. Yeah. Don't worry about it. We can, but for the sake of mental health, let's just add UVW map to it. From experience, this is usually 0.005, you know, to get them to work well, to look good, 0.005. All right. So for these green areas, I'm going to select them, and I'm going to apply like a sand materials to them. Let me just quickly do that. I'm not moving anything, so it's very helpful for you to change it to like select object only. With this, you will not mistakenly move any object that you do not intend to move. All right, so I'm just going to open this. I'm going to like go over to nature. I'm going to apply a ground material there. Soil, this one. I'm going to just apply this. Okay. These are also green areas. Let's just do the same thing for everybody. Okay. So as for here, these are the walkway. Okay. Let's use a concrete material over there. Let's just use a concrete floor material. Let's use that one. Okay, you can see the scene is beginning to take shape small, like gradually. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. I'm doing this just to change the color to tone it down a bit because so when things like this start happening, you just started working on your render, and you start seeing, the colors misbehaving like this. There are various ways, but as a beginner, I don't really think you should select everything and apply a default material to it. If you do that, it might actually stress you out even more. With this material now that I'm applying, you can easily select them. Okay, so I will show you the reason why I am not going to take, because that is an advanced, way of doing things. Like this method I'm showing you now is actually an easier way to do these things, that like to apply materials that I'm showing you how to apply. So let's go over to nature again, and then go down and then use this same soil garden assigned to the object. Now it is time for us to start texturing this building. Okay, first of all, we're going to select all the walls at once using the materials on this wall. And to do that, I'm going to open the material editor like so. I'm going to open the material editor like so, and I'm going to use this. Select this is for the windows, okay? And then I'm going to select this is for the walls. All right, the windows and the walls. Let me see this one. That's him. So I'm going to put it in default shading so I will know the ones I've worked on. I'm going to use glass and then aluminium from the Corona Assets library, like so. And then the aluminium, that's in the metal. When you go to metal, you see the black aluminium. That's one we're going to use actually. So we're going to just select it and apply it like so. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. As you can see, all the windows that we have here that are the same material have adjusted themselves, as you can see. So this is what I'm trying to show you, that it will be easier. Now for the walls, I'm going to just select this and then select by material and then hit OK. Let me minimize so that we'll see what I'm talking about. Then I'm going to isolate them. So you see the walls that we have selected. Okay, these walls are going to be white. So I'm going to go ahead and create a white material for it. And let's just use the Corona default material and then adjust the color a little bit. So I'm just going to use this semi-gloss wall material. If your nodes is not moving together the way mine is moving, turn on this stuff where move children. Okay, if it's off, you see the way it is moving. But if you turn it on, you can see when you select the parent, the children moves along with it. All right, that's a tip for you. So I'm going to adjust the color. I'm going to make it a little bit off-white. Okay, the sun is too much. So yeah, and then I apply it. Yep. So that's that for that. So when I select this, you see it's not the same material, but now when I select this, you see it's the same material. When you look, you see this framing. That shows that this material is what is applied there. Now I want this same material to be applied over there as well. So I'm going to select this one again, and I'm going to select by materials. I'm going to apply this to it. Okay. Let's just select them. Something moved a little bit. Turn off the move. Turn off that move. Turn off the move tool. Select the select object tool so you can be able to select things in peace and not move things around while trying to select something. That can mess up your work. All right, so let's just painstakingly select these words like this because the words I used are quite complex. They have children and children inside. So so you can select the words like this. All right. Exterior walls, and you can just apply this white material to them. Okay. That works too. Yeah. Let's create a different material for the base. We have a band at the base. That's going to be a different material. Let's create a different material for that and then apply it on it. That's not what I selected over here. Yeah. So let's just apply this one there and make it, let's change the color. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see the effect of what we have just done. At least it's getting better. Now you have seen where we are supposed to work on even more. All right. Yeah, now we're talking. The material was not selected before, so I applied that same material to it again. But I really need to get that color, the color I need for that place. Let's work on the diffuse a little bit more. I'll make it a little bit dark and saturated. A little bit. Okay, now you can see this element over here is Z fighting. So there's a way we can remedy this. Okay, with that element selected, when I say Z fighting, it's fighting with the surface behind it. You can just pull it out like so, a little bit like that. Okay, you can pull it out a little bit. Make sure you're selecting the polygons and you can pull it out. In the modify tab, you can pull it out. That's a little bit of error in the model. Okay, things like this can happen all the time when you are working. So now you know how to solve it. Okay, that's it. I think we might have to do the same thing for all the building. Yeah. So as you can see, there are some materials that we have not worked on. We have not worked on this material. It's going to be a different material. You can see these windows are still looking bland. That's because we have not worked on them. They are not the same as this one. So we are going to like do the same thing we did to them. Okay. And this roof is not going to be white as well. We're going to work on them as well as these drain pipes. We're going to make them black aluminum. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do now. All right. So let me just stop. And then let's go and do them. Just like we did before. All right. I'm just going to come out of there. Select this and hit select similar. You can see all the same things. All these panels have been selected. All right. So I'm just going to come over here. Just look for, yeah. This is the one we used the other time. So we're just going to duplicate it. Then apply it. And then the same thing happens for here too. I'm just going to do select similar. And then apply it again. Yeah. So this particular one, I can just reduce it a little bit to like 0.6. That's the reflection, a little bit. So now let's see the way our scene is going to look, what it's going to look like. Please, if there is anything that you don't understand, feel free to ask me a question in the comment section. Okay, or any suggestions you want to make, you feel free to ask me questions in the comment section. As you can see, the roof is now back. All right, let's do the same for the drain pipes and the roof gutters and the windows and every other thing. All right. So I'm gonna select similar. Okay, you can see all the roof gutters have been selected. Okay, go over there. That same material that we use for the roof, and then I'm going to select similar as well and then apply. Okay, you can see select similar. For some reason the roof gutter is not selecting all the ones in the scene, so let's just go ahead and select them house by house and then apply it. Okay. Right. As you can see, it's beginning to look good. Now for this railing over here, I'm just going to select it, the same material. I'm going to apply it over there. All right. This lamppost too. Let's get the material of the lamppost so we can be able to make our own adjustment to it. Okay. So I'm going to just get it. You can see in the lamppost we are having lamp glass, which is not a glass, and we're having anodized aluminum. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it and take it down there. Put it over here. Then delete. Okay. Then for glass, let's just create a glass. It's very easy to create. Double click on it. Just all you need to do to get a glass is add one here and add one here. You have a glass. Then we're going to plug it over here. Now when we go back and look, our lamppost is already looking so good. You can see the lamppost. All right, let's do the same thing for this. Okay, for the windows and the doors. Let's adjust them as well. So yeah, this is this one. Once we do this one, all that type of window, all the window that same type, we get the info. So this is a glass, this is a rubber, this is aluminum. I don't actually care about the rubber. I'm going to use just aluminum and glass. Okay, you can do that and it still come out. Just find out where the glass is and put glass there. Any other thing can be aluminum, and it works all the time. Yeah. So, but assuming I selected everything and I applied default material like white material to it, now you are going to be detaching these elements from each other just to apply, because I did the model in Revit. Okay, having done the model in Revit, the model, the windows you're seeing here are Revit windows and they come together. Even though they have materials, it's with the material that you can now pick the windows apart and apply different, materials to the different corona materials to the part that you want. You get? So that's why I didn't want to. But normally, normally it is always good when you are starting your own project. It's always good to like apply a default material and start all over again. But for the sake of where I modeled this, the where the model was done, okay, I don't think it's ideal in this situation. Okay, you just have to like weather the storm. By the time we are done, you're gonna see how good this will turn out. Okay, yeah. So let's keep it moving. I just want to bring this out a little bit, just a little bit. Aha. This is the first time I'm doing this while, so I'm as shocked as you are. Right. So yeah. So this the fascia now is what we need to like apply corona material to, because whether you like it or not, that is still Revit material that was converted to corona material. So we need to apply ours to it. Let me make sure that what I'm selecting is what I want to select. Yep, that's it. So let's open the material editor, go to where we have like a white material, select it, move it down. But now we're going to reduce the reflection. That one is quite high. Let's make it like 5. Then apply it to it. Apply it to them, sorry. Then come back and see what we've got. Don't worry, we are going to still work on the horizon. We're going to cover the horizons, and I'm going to show you tricks that are going to use to cover them. So, but for now, let's focus on the material at hand. Yeah, and here we're going to put a texture here. No, stone texture. Just want to see how the color interacts, with white. And it's not bad. It's not bad so far. I'm just going to stop it. Okay. The material we applied is working well. Yeah. So now, first thing first, let's start adding the material that we actually want to use in this project. Okay, so yeah, let's start with the road, and then the curves, and then the walkways. This is the road. So now I'm going to select all the things here, and I'm going to delete them. Okay, that's the road. So now let's work on the material that is already applied on the road. All right, so let's go and get the map that we're supposed to use. All right, so this is the map we're going to use. Let's preview it. This is the map we're going to use for the road. All right, so I'm going to like bring in all the maps that we're going to use. We're going to use the ambient occlusion map. We're going to use the diffuse map. We're going to use the displacement map, and then the normal map. We're going to use the gloss. That's all. Okay. So to be able to use the ambient occlusion with the displacement map to, make the material come out nice, you just have to use Corona Mix map. Corona Mix. Then pass this at the top. Pass this on the base, and then it's still not coming out. Don't worry. For it to come out, just come over here in the mix operation, change it to multiply. Now, to get rid of this shininess, just plug in your reflective gloss. You can always get rid of it here, but you don't need to. That is what this the gloss map is for. Okay? To give you the realistic gloss that this material is supposed to have. So I'm going to bring in the corona normal, okay? So I can convert this normal map into the bump that the material can understand. So I'm just going to plug this in here, okay? Yeah. So you can adjust your UVW map to look like mine. You can see the settings. All right, I'm going to put the link to this map in the description. Okay, I'm going to link it there so you can go and get it so you can follow along in this tutorial. All right, so let's see what we have right now. We're going to work on the curves as well. That's what we're going to work on next. And then the walkway, we're going to edit it, make it look nice. Yeah, not bad. Now the curves, we don't have much time again. The curves, I'm going to use the default concrete material for the curves. I'm going to use, not that. Yeah, I'm going to use this for the curve. So I'm going to apply it to the assigned. I'm just going to come over here. I'm just going to apply the UVW map, put it in box, and then 0.005 all the way. That's going to give you what you're looking for. Okay, you can see it's already looking nice. So I'm going to select all the curves in this scene. I know how we do that. Select it, then select similar. All the curves have been selected, and I'll apply that same material to it, to them rather. You can see. Now we need to apply the UVW map to them. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to copy it. You can copy UVW map. Okay, that's the purpose of this exercise that I'm doing now. And then you paste it all over the place. You can select and paste all at once. But if you ever need to adjust it, it might give you some issues. So as a beginner, I advise you to copy and paste individually, as that is going to, you'll be happy you did when there is need for adjustment later. But this thing we're doing, we don't need to do it all over the place. We're just going to do it where the camera is going to capture. So we can stop doing it now. All right. Okay. As you can see the stuff happening here. You can see the division of the curves coming out. So let's apply material on this stuff over there. So I need to use material that we are really going to appreciate. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go over to the stone. Okay. I'm going to use cobblestone running. Let's see. Okay. So that's the material is what we're even going to apply here. So let's just go ahead and do that. All right. So take that same UVW map. You can select, so I can just select and apply and apply and apply and apply. So here we forgot to add this material. Oh, we did add it. Just that we are having double stuff there. So let's just go over to nature. And we have adjusted that. Need to move this walkway material, this walkway element outside the compound, because we're going to add greeneries there later. So let's just do that. Hey, whoa. So I want to select all this one. Like so. And then no, let me stop it here. Let me stop it here. And then use this one. Yes, finally. So let's take this and meet it over there. Just like that. Of course, this covers up. Like so. Yeah. So quickly, let me just apply this material I have here over here so we can just quickly get to other things like adding grass and then covering the horizon with trees from Forest Park. Stone. Running. So yeah, just to paste it there. That's a good thing. You can always paste the UVW and everything is okay. All right. Yep. Now let's see what we have got. This tutorial is about to end, so if you have stayed up to this while, thank you very much. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. We drop videos like this every week. Okay, so subscribe. We'll be getting content like this back to back to back. All right. Yeah. So let's continue. I'm going to apply material to this, and then the actual material we're going to use, I'm going to apply it to this and then to the rest. Okay. Yeah. Let me stop this. Let me select this. Okay. Let me go over here. I'm just gonna let me look for this one material. I'm just gonna duplicate it. I'm gonna delete everything that is here. This is the brick we're going to use outside there. Okay. So exactly the way it is there, we're going to add black coping on top and then that beneath there. So to begin, just like we did before, we're just going to bring in all the stuff that we need. Okay, this is the albedo. Albedo is the same as diffuse. That's the gloss. That's the displacement. That's the bump or the normal map. And then this is our ambient occlusion map. So yeah, just like we did before. Okay, maps, corona mix, nothing different. Multiply and then just attach it there. Then put our gloss. Don't forget to set your gamma, add gamma to input. Then let's plug our. So just come over here and then make this like 5. We need it to pop. This is a brick material. We need to like pop. So I'm gonna apply this. Okay. To that. I'm gonna set it to show patterns, show background in preview. Sorry, not this. Okay. Shaded material. Show shaded material in viewport. All right. I'm going to isolate it. You isolate with this button. So I'm going to isolate it and then let's map it properly. So it, comes out so nice. So let's see 20, 20, 20, everything. That's huge. 10. I think 10 is a magic number. No? I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it there. So let's see what I've just done. For this, just gonna use our aluminium that we have used a lot of times already. Where is the aluminium? I think this should be it. Yeah, that's it. So let's just see what we are having, shall we? Not bad at all. Now we need to, I want us to work on the materials a little. I want you to be a little bit grayish, a little bit dark. Okay. So, yeah. I'm just gonna, sorry. This is it. I'm just gonna add on the maps tab. In general, I'm gonna get the corona. No, not the color correction, the default color correction, not corona color correction. And I'm going to come over here, go to advanced and reduce it, make it like 0.8. Let's see. Let's see how it is looking now. I'm afraid that might be too dark. But we're going to leave it like that for now. Let's desaturate it a bit. Okay. Yeah. To be able to appreciate it, let's do pan zoom. Okay. So let's go close to that material and see what we are up against here. Oh. We're already close to it. It's not that bad. It's not bad at all. Let's leave it like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to apply it all over the place. Okay, to exit the pan zone, just go there and click on it again. I have set a shortcut for my own. My own is set to Control K. So each time I hit Control K, it's gonna take me in and out of the pan zone. So these are the elements that I'm going to select and apply it on them, just like we have been doing before. So yeah. Yep. So I'm just gonna select this and apply it on it too. Even that one. So yeah. All right, now I'm going to apply the UVW map. I'm just going to copy it from here. There's no need to do it all over again. So I'm going to copy it from here. Then paste. And then paste. I will do the same for the rest of the walls that we applied that same material to. So I'm just going to select it and then paste the UVW map to them. Yeah. So let's go ahead and create the material for this place. Yeah. So there's a material we already used for it. So we're just going to, let me detach this and then delete this. and then select. Okay. So this is the material we're going to be using for those places. We're going to change the color too, and I will be showing you how to do just that. So as we always do, bring in the diffuse, but then we're going to now put color correction in between. You know what? Let's not use this. Let's use the Corona color correction. So now we already have the color that we applied in here. So I'm just gonna come over here, select it, copy it, then come here, paste it. See how that goes. Yeah. All right. But then I need to remap all those things. And I want it to be showing as this part on the view. You can see what I did there. Instead of it to be showing that red stuff that I was showing before, it's now showing this. And it is because I selected this particular the bitmap, and I clicked on show shaded material in viewport. All right. So now let's map it. Okay. Let's find the appropriate map for it. I'm going to put it in box, and I'm going to like, let's see 0.005. 0.005. Oh, that's not going to work. Let's see 5. In fact, let's see 10. Because the other one was 10. Something like this. Something like this. Let's go closer. I'm not seeing anything. That's because we have not added other materials, the other parts of the material like the bombs and all was not and all was not. But I like the way it is looking now. Yes. I might have to select this and drag it down a little bit. Like so. Like so. Okay, that's it for that one. Select this one. Wait, hold on. Yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be looking. That's why I wasn't seeing anything. Okay. Select it and then drag it down. Sorry, not this. Drag it down. All right. The same thing for here too. All right. Might have to do. We don't really have to do it for those ones. Those ones are far away from the camera, so I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, so I'm just gonna select this, and then in fact, let's go and complete our map, our material. Okay. Since we're changing the colors, I don't think we need to bring in the ambient occlusion for anything. But if you want, you can bring it in. Normal map. Okay. The other one, which is the displacement, which is very, very important. Just put it in displacement and increase it to like 5. I like 5. Then we're gonna use our gloss. That will make the gloss effect realistic. You can see the stone is now stony. As you can see. Yeah, but the color of this thing is not actually it. Okay? It's not actually it. And I'm going to do something about that. So I'm just gonna reduce the something like that. And hit OK. Yeah. So let's see the full thing. Yeah. The only thing remaining here is the door, and we're going to select it and we're going to apply a brown wood material to it, or maybe metal material, or just maybe blank color. It's just, it's not really that deep. We're going to apply the, okay. All right, see, 3ds Max just crashed. Things like this can happen when you're working, at any time. So it's a good thing they asked me to save, because I realized that since we started this tutorial, I've not actually saved the file. So let's save so we can continue later. All right. Yeah. All right. So I just reopened 3ds Max after the file crashed. So I'm going to go to recent. I'm going to open the recovered file. Okay. Now it has opened. We're applying materials to this door when the file crashed. Let's see. Okay. So we'll just select all the doors. I don't need to be, do any celebration for the doors. We just select the doors. In fact, I'm going to select instances. Okay, those are the doors. I'm just going to go inside here in the material. You can apply whatever material you want to apply. Okay, I'm just showing you how you can do an example of what you can do. Okay, you can just select it and apply this. Okay, or that. But I want to use this. I want to use walnut. That has been applied to it. Now the handle doesn't need to be walnut, so I'm going to select it like so. You see what I did? I selected polygons. Okay, and I will go over to the metals. I'm going to add the black metal handle. I can, in fact, let me add chrome. Okay, chrome to it. All right, don't mind the way it is looking. It is still wood material, very much wood material. But I would have done this. I would have done the UVW mapping on it first. So let me just quickly do it on this one that I've not applied this into the chrome material too. Okay, so just like that. So, but you can choose to use the material that we picked from it and then replace the materials inside there if you want. But you can also do this one I'm doing. So either one. All right. Yeah. So yeah. You can see the handle. Now, let me do the same for these two. So when we come over here and let's check the material of this door. You can see we have the one for the walnut, we have the one for the chrome. Okay, so let's go ahead and do interactive render and see what we've got. shall we? Can see our door here and every other place that is supposed to have that door. Now it is time for us to add our green areas using the forest pack and then cover our horizon, also still using the forest pack. And I'll be showing how to do just that. Yes. So I'm going to stop it and then. Okay, now, but before we apply the grasses using the forest pack plugin, let's first of all there's something we need to do first. Okay, let's select the places we're going to apply them. We're going to now draw a line on it as it's going to make it, that is going to make it easier for us to work with the forest pack. Okay, these places are just selected now, they are on the same level. The ones on top of here are on a different level, so we're going to do them separately. Otherwise we're going to have some issues that is going to be very tricky for us. So in fact, I don't even think it can be solved, because when you're not trying to move the other one down, it will disappear on the one that is higher. So the only remedy to that is when you are applying this forest pack on planes that are not on equal level, just use two separate forest packs. And as we move on, we're going to, what I'm saying will be clearer to us. Okay, as you can see, this is higher than this. Okay, so we're going to apply forest pack on this part separately. Let's begin. Okay, now I'm going to introduce you to the 3D snap tool. Okay, if I turn this thing on, it is going to help me. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now you can see it is this line that I'm about to draw is already snapping to these areas. If I turn it off, you will see nothing is snapping, and it has settings. When you right click on it, you will see the setting. Please go ahead and set it to vertex and end point, just like I've set mine. Okay, then you can close it. Now let's start drawing the lines. Just draw. You can hold shift to restrict it to an axis. Okay, so for the curves, you don't have to hold the shift. Just leave it. It will be snapping to the edge, and then draw it as much as you can. Then hold shift again. All right. Close the spline. Yes. The same thing here again. You can use rectangle. See the same thing. All right, so that's that for now. Let's turn off this. Then select the forest pack. Let's go ahead and select the one we want. There are lots of presets here for you to select from. For the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to use this. Okay, large. And then we're going to select the line. All right, let's put it to shapes so that we can only select shapes. That will make it easier for us to be able to select the ones we need to select. Now, instead of us to now like select forest pack again, which we can, and then select all of them, we can easily add, we can always add grass to these lines. Okay, so we're just gonna come over here, click on this icon here, and then select just like that. Can you see? And then here too. And that is it for this one. Now, because this is on a different level from this one, we're going to start afresh. Let's not add, because once we add, it is going to raise this grass up away from this level, and we really want it to be on the surface. You get? So now we have clicked on forest pack. Now let's come over here and select it. Okay, now we can now go over to the areas rollouts and add more. Once. If you click once, you click, and then you come back and click again. That's how you add it. All right. Just like that. Okay. Good. Let's do interactive render to see what we have done. Okay. But now we're having some issues. You can see that the grass is not staying in the boundary of the edge of the curves where we want it to be. Okay. If this can actually be very possible, but this is not what we're going for. Assuming you want it to stay within the boundary of the line that you just drew, I'll show you how you can do that. This is the issue that we face, with using the large preset in Forest Pack. Assuming we use the detail, this is not going to happen at all. But then it is going to take a lot more memory from our system. Okay, but this can work, and I'll show you how to make it work right now. All right. So the first thing we need to do is, okay, let's change this into all, so we can select the So you keep clicking on this place till you select the Forest Pack. Let me stop this. Yes, I've selected it. All right. So let's start the interactive render again. And go over to modify. First thing first, we need to, on this same areas rollout, go down and set the boundary checking to edge. You see what it's writing? Edge mode requires to use forest edge in the opacity slot of the material, but some of them have not it. Please see documentation for details. Now, what this is trying to tell us is that in as much as we have set it to the edge, we still need to use forest edge, in the opacity color of the materials of this grass for it to actually work. Because some of these things, they don't have the forest edge in the opacity color. All right. And the ones that don't have it is these large Forest Pack presets. All right. So to do that, let's open our material editor. Like I said, and the easiest way to avoid all this stuff is to use the detailed preset. And I'll show you the difference between the detailed preset and this one. So instance. Can see it's selected, meaning that's the one we are selecting now. So let's go ahead and get our forest edge and apply it to all the opacity slots. Let's keep this by the side. Okay. Make this small. This even smaller. Because I want us to see what is happening when it starts happening. So just come here and search forest edge. You can see it here. So you start from the first one, which is this. Apply it to the opacity color. Okay. All right, so now that we are done applying the opacity map, let's take a look at what has happened. can see now the grass are now inside where they're supposed to be. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and add hedges, and trees to cover up this horizon. All right. So we're going to use Forest Pack again, but this time we're going to apply it differently. Okay. Let's go to the starter library. I'm going to use this big tree. But instead of generating it, we are now going to use custom edit, so we can now drop it one by one. Okay, like so. So let's start interactive rendering so we can be seeing what we're doing. Oh, okay. Think. Now I have to like scale it down a little bit, like so. Just like that. Just like that. Now I have to copy it over there and then scale it up so that it will be showing at the top a little bit, like so. And then now over there, we're going to have one at that height. We're going to have another one underneath. Then we're going to take it down. That's too low. Let's not use that. We're going to use a different shrub from Forest Pack to do that. I think we need an additional tree somewhere here. Okay, there. Yeah, there. And here. Let's take it down a bit. No. Just have to position it in such a way that it's going to like look really nice. Now I'm going to add hedges to cover the horizon, really tall hedges. Okay, that are still going to look nice. All right, so I'm going to stop this. I'm going to draw a line. Okay, I'm going to draw a line like this, just like that. Okay, I'm going to draw another line at the back like this. Yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna go to this time around presets, cut edges, and then this. Let me use the tallest one. So change it back to generate. Then click on this, the line that you just created. Now we are going to have to do some settings for it to come out. Okay. We're going to go, let's close geometry, close area. Distribution, we're going to change it to image. And then we're going to change this like say 6.5. Let's see what we are going to have. Let's make it 4.5. I'll move it over there and see what happens. Okay. I think we might have to. Oh no, we don't have to do any of that. Let me take it back. I'm going to use a car and block it off. But then we need to cover this opening that we're having here with a tree or a hedge or whatever. So yeah, so it's gonna scale this down very well. Let's see how that's gonna help us. Oh. Yes. Yeah. So let's take this hedge, this tree that we have created over here to do that same thing over there. So we're gonna add the hedge over here too. So I'm gonna select this hedge that we have here. Okay. And then I'm going to go over to the areas rollout. Select this. And then select the line as well. In fact, let me delete. Let me just I think it's already let's go back and select it again. This imports. Make sure it's ungenerated. So I'm going to go over here like we did before. Set it to image. And then come down here to units and then set it to like say 35 2000. Then let's see what we've got. All right. So let's make it 25. Yeah, so that it will not be too squished up. We don't like it to be too squished up. Now, there's something I just noticed in this our renders. Let's go in. Let's see how this thing is looking. And see that the aluminium, they are having patterns on them that I do not like. So to get rid of those patterns, I think we just have to like anywhere we use the aluminium, where are those aluminium maps? We just remove this. And maybe that's you just need a black glossy stuff going on. So that way we'll just have our aluminium and there will be peace. Can see just black now. Just black. Just like we want it to be. Yeah, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some things like we are going to add cars in this image. We're going to add one here to help us cover that place. And then it's about that. I think we should also add a hedge here too. Line it around here. That would be nice. So let's go and get a vehicle for our scene. I'm gonna use this. So let's move it to where it is going to be. We'll make this big so it can be seen where the car is in the scene. Because I need it to be here. Even closer. Yes. Yes. So let's check. First of all, let's save. So now that we've positioned the car where we want it to be, let's go ahead and relink the maps that came with the car. Make sure that everything are in order where they're supposed to be. Okay. Yeah. And if you have been following this tutorial up till now, you may not be able to do interactive render again. So I suggest you just come over here, select a smaller, like I've just done now, and then do what we call a test render. Okay, for it to like quickly boot up and load up the image so you can see what you have, and then know whether to proceed from there. Yeah. All right, so as you can see, this hedge is way too high. Okay, we need a shorter one there, so I'm going to remove it and add a shorter one. The car is hanging, it's not touching the ground. We're going to do something about that. Okay, so I'm going to isolate the flow and the car. I'm going to select it and apply it there. Now for the edges, ooh, 3000. Yes. Then let me bring out this thing again. I think we need to adjust the desaturate it a little bit. Nah, that's not. Let's leave that there for now. Okay. Let me select this car and take it back a little bit. I'm gonna take that tree down a bit like that. Yeah. So I'm going to save this file. Let me close all this. I'm going to save this file. All right, so now when you look at this image, you will see that the forest pack that we put inside is coming out of this wall. So we need to adjust that. Okay, so to do that, come over here, we select it, and then we move it in. Okay, can see it's no longer there. And then I need us to see it a little bit more. So I'm gonna use that same avenue and then move it up. Keep going up. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. A little bit down. Yes. Good. So I'm going to add some hedges, on this side of the building. So because it's looking too open and too bland. So I'm just going to draw some lines over there and then I'm going to like add hedges there. Okay. After that, we're just going to do some quick tone mapping and then, set up our final settings for render so that we can get this over with. So I'm going to stop this. So all right, now you can see the hedges we added, where we added them. Okay, two things we're going to do before we go. We're going to change the color of this sky from black to red. That's one. And then the second one, we're going to add clouds to the sky. Okay, so let's do that one first. So to do that, just let's open the material editor and find the corona sky because we already duplicated it there at some point. Look at it here. So come down here over here and just in the class parameter, and this only works when you are using corona 9 or corona 10. Okay, in the class parameter, select the enable clouds. And when we come back, you're going to see cloud on the sky. Okay, this is the best way to add clouds. All right, so let's go ahead and make the color of the vehicle red. I will show you how you can easily do that. So that's why it's the selection ability was set to shapes. That's why we are not able to pick the material from this car. So now that I've changed it, let's pick the material. Okay, this is the body. So we can now come over here and then select the red. So it's not quite red yet. So I want it to be like a dark kind of red. Okay, something like this. So I'm gonna say okay now. So we have added the sky and we have added this thing. Let's go and do our setups so we can render out this image. So first thing we need to do is change this into like 3000. Set to whatever you want. You can set to 1920. It's all your choice. So the denoising mode already you know. Corona high quality. Okay. So that's it for the render setups. So now I'm going to like hit the render button and then relax and wait for it to render. All right, so as you can see, we are done with the render. As you can see, the everywhere is clear and the noise is minimal. So let's go ahead and save out this image so we can go over to Photoshop and do a little bit of post-production. So hit on save and then select the folder where you want to save your file in. All right. As soon as you do that, you can now rename the file. Let's name this file exterior render tutorial. Exterior render tutorial. Yeah. So let's change the file format to PNG and then the gamma override. Let's put 2.2 over there. All right. So let's hit save. Okay. Now let's head over to Photoshop where we're going to do our post-production. All right, so now we're in Photoshop. Let's quickly do a thing or two, okay? Quick post-production to get this thing over with. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is convert to Smart Object and duplicate so we can do before and after later on. So I'll go over to Sharpen, okay? I'll use on Sharp Mask, all right? The first one I'm going to increase Okay, you can just turn off preview to see what was and what is now. Okay, you can see the way it's sharpening the image, adding these sharp, vibes to it. Don't overdo it, okay? Just a little bit. And then we're going to apply that same filter again. But this time we're going to reduce this one and then increase this one a little bit. Okay? So we can sharpen the foreground. What we did before sharpened, the elements in the background. If you turn it off, you're going to see. Take a look at this, grass area. You're going to see, because if we increase it the more, you're going to see the effect more. Okay, just a little bit. We're not doing, if you make it too much, it's going to affect the realism of things in the image. So just reduce this one a little bit and increase this one. All right. So I'm going to add an adjustment. Okay, I'm going to add this hue saturation adjustment. I'm going to just make it -5. I will get rid of XX. When you take it down, you see what it's adding. Okay, but we don't want it to be too much. So we're not going to leave it -5, -6. No, -5 is okay. All right. Cool. So the next thing we can do, we can add a little bit of vignette around this place. There are ways we can do that easily. We can use the camera raw filter. We select this and use the camera raw filter and do it. Or we can just use this method I want to use now. Just select it like so, and then go to selection. Come down here. You see feather, okay? The shortcut is Shift F6. Now you're going to set the feather radius. Let's make it 100. I think we didn't. Shift F6. Let's make it 200. Okay? In fact, I even want, let's make it a little bit more on the edge, like that. So Shift F6. Okay? Make it 300. Yeah. So with it being like this now, I'm going to go over to the adjustments and then select curves. And then with the preset, I'm going to make it darker. Okay, but it's not making the inside part darker. I want it to make it darker on the exterior part. So I'm going to select this mask layer here and I'm going to create Control I. Okay, you can see what it has done. Okay, now we're going to duplicate this layer. Okay, and then instead of making it darker, we're going to make it lighter. All right, and then we're going to invert these two. Control I. Okay, so you can see both of them are working hand in hand to put our focus in the building where they are supposed to be. All right. So there isn't much. We already did all the color corrections that we ought to do inside 3ds Max, inside Corona. So we don't really need to do much here. But if there are some things you need to hide, or if you want to add motion blur to this car, let me show you how to add motion blur. But motion blur on this car is going to be subtle because the car is moving towards the camera, not in front of the camera. So to add motion blur, we're gonna just rough selection of the car. You don't even need to make it perfect. Just rough it up. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. So when you are done, you can just double click to join it, and then you select the image and then press Ctrl J. That will duplicate. It will duplicate the car, as you can see. So you select this car. And then let's turn it to smart object, convert it to smart object. And then come over to filter. You see blur, you see motion blur. You apply it a little bit. You can now set the angle, the direction you want it to go towards. Okay. So let's keep it at 0. And then reduce the distance a little bit. Okay, And but because we turned it to smart object, we can always come back here and edit it later. Okay, edit the value of the motion blur, like so. All right. Yeah. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like. And if you're new to this channel, if this is the first video you're watching on this channel, I hope you enjoyed this video, actually. Consider subscribing. Not only subscribing, ring the notification bell. That's that bell close to the subscribe, so you don't miss any of our future tutorials, okay? Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.